Welcome to Football Scientific. I'm Aaron Sauter, writer for Last Word on Sports. I cover the Buffalo Bills. I have several articles this week about the Buffalo Bills as we prepare for their matchup against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday night. Also, I write for CFLNewsHub.com, cover the Hamilton Tiger-Cats. And then here on Football Scientific, we cover the UFL, the NFL, the IFL, the CFL, the NAL. We also cover the ELF, European League of Football, and some college football. So we cover a lot of things. A lot of football, that's my niche. My niche is a lot of football, okay? Boo. A lot of people say, I'll cover the UFL. That's boring. I'll cover the NFL. That's boring. I'll cover college football. That's boring. I'm covering all of it. Boo. And I'm joined today by my guest host, Tyler Tiger. Tyler Tiger here. Well, today's show is going to be pretty amazing. First, we're just getting ready for the start of the NFL season tomorrow. The Dallas Cowboys face the Philadelphia Eagles. And it should be pretty fun. And the Kansas City Chiefs and LA Chargers playing Brazil on Friday. So I think we're doing predictions for both of those. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. We're doing predictions for Dallas Cowboys and Eagles, and Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Chargers. That's right. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds fun. And then some news and notes and some stuff like that, right? And that's the deal, right? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay. Carry on. Let's go. Let's break it down. Okay. Let's break it down. Okay, so first, NFL. Just some reports that were released. You know, during the offseason, some teams made some restructuring moves to try and free up salary cap space. And Ian Rappaport from the ESPN, he has put out some findings, I guess. I don't know. But it might become important down the road. You never know what's going to be important down the road. And this might become important. Okay, so the Atlanta Falcons created $6 million in cap space by restructuring wide receiver Darnell Mooney's contract, extending him and saving some money. Buffalo Bills created $8 million of salary cap space by restructuring offensive tackle Deion Dawkins' deal contract. Okay, and Chicago Bears traded $8 million in salary cap space by restructuring cornerback Jalen Johnson's deal. I think they've already used that money though, so. It's just interesting how teams are moving money around. They change your guarantees. They move your money. They free up the salary cap space by paying you more money. That's cool. That's not the way I go about it, but I'm not a GM right now yet for the Bengals. Make that happen, okay? Jacksonville Jaguars. They have some things going on. So on the depth chart, Travis Hunter is definitely a starting wide receiver, but he's a backup cornerback, so they're going to kind of limit his play at cornerback, it seems like. So I guess it's going to be a wide receiver, at least a little bit of cornerback too. Carolina Panthers, wide receiver Hunter Renfrow. Boom, he should be it's going to be a big season for him. He's going to be a starter for them. They expect a big season on Hunter Renfrow coming from the Raiders. Speaking of the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Dante Thornton Jr. is going to be a starting receiver for them, kind of stepping in, where people like Hunter Renfrow left some space. Okay? An interesting note, the NFL MVP and Players of the Year last year are going to be wearing a gold shield on their jersey. I guess they're trying to target those guys so they get put out for the season. I mean, why else would you do it? I don't know. Honor them. That's really going to make them a target, I think. So, unfortunately, hopefully Josh Allen's not a target. He's the MVP from last year, and he's going to wear a gold shield. Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley's going to wear a gold shield. If they all end up being hurt, I'm going to call it conspiracy. Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain, the second, I think. He's a gold shield. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels is going to have a gold shield. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jared Vincent, I don't remember his last name. I don't know. But they're all wearing a gold shield. Hopefully they don't get targeted and put out for the season. Mainly Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels. I need both of them to be successful. Buffalo for my coverage and Jaden Daniels for my fantasy team. Okay? All right. New York Jets, offensive guard. Speaking of injuries, New York Jets offensive guard Elijah Vera Tucker. Boom. Injured his arm today. In practice, he's going to get a second opinion. He may need surgery. And later on, they found out he had injured his tricep, which he also injured a tricep in 2022. But good news or bad news, he didn't injure the same one. He injured the opposite arm. So now both triceps have been injured. It's probably not good news, I don't think. Dallas Cowboys, speaking of injuries, cornerback Trayvon Diggs and offensive tackle Tyler Gary, they talked about being injured the whole time during training camp. Well, they were skipping training camp because they're both expected to play versus the Eagles on Thursday night. Boom, the San Francisco 49ers, I mentioned a move they made a couple days ago. They signed wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling to their practice roster so that way they could elevate him to their active game roster against the Seattle Seahawks for Sunday, and they now promoted him to the active roster, so they did that. Houston Texans, they announced that safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson should play against the Rams. He had a knee injury, and he was basically complaining all the time about being hurt, but it was all fake. A lot of that stuff is fake, You got to think about that, Draft stuff, you can't trust anything. Beginning of the season, you can't trust anything. Everyone's smoke screening everything. It's hard to tell what's really true. I actually saw a thing today where they moved, Buffalo moved Jordan Poyer. I think they moved him. They cut him from the practice roster to create space to sign Gabe Davis, which I read an article about yesterday. But then they're adding him back probably tomorrow, I heard. So they're just moving that for basically bookkeeping reasons. They're just moving the roster around to put more players on it. So that's kind of the game GMs play nowadays, along with salary cap stuff. So I was told a non-story, which it seemed like a non-story, so I didn't write that. New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara, good news. He's expected to get at least 70% of the workload at running back for the Saints. Why is that good news? He's on my fantasy team. I need Alvin Kamara to play well. He's one of my keepers. In the past, Alvin Kamara has been an elite fantasy player. Recently, not so much, but he could be coming back. That'd be good. Okay. Boom. Interesting note. New York Jets quarterback Justin Fields has the opportunity to do a weird record. He has a chance to be the first quarterback to win an opening game for a team last year, Pittsburgh Steelers, and then beat that same team in his new team's opening game, New York Jets, which would be really ironic because, Aaron Rodgers moved from the Jets to the Steelers to have a better team. Fields got moved from the Steelers to the Jets because he played like crap, and now he's going to go for the Jets and beat the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers and break a record. This is really confusing. Which team is good? Hopefully neither. It's always fun when the Steelers are not very good. I always like that, okay? So that is the news. Wasn't a lot of news. Kind of confusing news. Okay. Next, I got some other NFL stuff here. Let me get down to it. Predictions. So we got some predictions for Thursday and Friday night. We have a game on Friday night. We'll have to travel to a distant place. So I probably won't get a chance to make a video Friday night, really. We'll get back way too late. So I'm just going to go through this now, and then I'll probably go through tomorrow night to talk about CFL games and the ELF championship game. So, all right, here we go. So first NFL game of Week 1 for the 2025 season is Thursday, 8:20 p.m. Thursday tomorrow, September 4th. The Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. Dallas Cowboys have made some weird moves. Getting rid of Micah Parsons, which ended up being kind of good, I guess. And they got Kenny Clark, as defensive tackle. Offensively, they're good, I think. Javonte Williams is a starter, but I've heard he's like running back number 35 in fantasy football. Dak Prescott's going to be back. It's really confusing to be a Dallas Cowboys fan right now. I think you should invest in tissues. You guys will be crying a lot this year. But they play the Philadelphia Eagles, who, as far as I know, are loaded. They got Saquon Barkley. He's going to wear the gold thing on his chest. You got Jalen Hurts. You got all the receiver, A.J. Brown. They're loaded. Defensively, they're loaded. So this seems pretty academic. Now, it is a rivalry game, so I think Dallas will make life unpleasant for Philadelphia. They're really good at that. That's why they're rivals. So I say, ultimately, Philadelphia Eagles pull away at the end against Dallas and win this game at home 28-20. Total points will be 48 points. DraftKings, they mostly agree with me. So they say Philadelphia Eagles are 8.5-point favorites. Dallas 8.5-point underdogs. The under is 47.5. So if I was going to bet on this game, which I'm not, but if I was, I would take the Philadelphia Eagles with the money line, and I would take the over, just barely. It may go more over, but I think it's going to go over for sure. Okay, so I go Philadelphia Eagles. I'm picking them to win 28-20. Boop. And then I go over on that. Okay. All right. And then Friday night, the game in Brazil, the first international game of the season. Friday night, September 5th, 8 p.m. Kansas City Chiefs, LA Chargers are playing in Sao Paulo, Brazil. What do I expect to see here? I expect to see an improved LA Chargers team. If they're smart, they will blitz from their left side and force Patrick Mahomes to scramble to his left. He's horrible to his left. He's great to his right. So if they're smart and they watched the Super Bowl last year, they'll understand what to do. That's exactly what Philly did, and it's what I put together an article on Substack when I had a Substack. I mentioned how to beat the Chiefs, and Philly did exactly what I said to do. So that was pretty amazing. Probably why I write for the NFL now, you know. But I expect the Chiefs be good on defense, but they have a hard time stopping the running game at LA Chargers. LA Chargers will probably turn the ball over, though. I think Justin Herbert will have an up and down day as usual. I think Patrick Mahomes will put some stuff together at the end and win the game. So I have Kansas City Chiefs in Sao Paulo, Brazil, winning that game against the LA Chargers 24-21. Close game. And then 45 total points being scored. And then the DraftKings, they have the Chiefs as a 3-point favorite, so same as I do. LA Chargers 3-point underdog, same as I do. I'm taking LA and the points because I think that's the best bet. I think it might be closer than 3 points. I think it's going to be a pretty tough. Like I said, I think Chargers are going to come play well. KC is going to be weird. If the Chargers took any notes from last year in the Super Bowl, they will know how to stop Patrick Mahomes, and that'll make things very difficult for the Chiefs. But I said they have too many weapons to stop completely, so they're going to win 24-21, okay? Chiefs win, which is sad. Stupid Chiefs. Okay. Boom. And the UFL, Michigan Panthers have re-signed linebacker R.J. Moten. Houston Roughnecks have signed running back Ellis Merriweather, and the Birmingham Stallions have re-signed defensive tackle Khalil Davis. So that's nice. Slowly building the rosters back. We don't know what's going to happen there. No one knows what's going to happen there. We just know they're existing again. That's good. In the IFL, people are starting to make some big plans. Tulsa Oilers have signed head coach Marvin Jones to a multi-year extension. He's been the only head coach of the Tulsa Oilers so far. And they made the playoffs this year, and they were a contender after picking up a lot of players from the Frisco Fighters. And Marvin Jones has done a pretty good job. So he's got a multi-year extension. San Antonio Gunslingers finally make a head coaching change. They announced that Jonathan Bain is their new head coach, replacing Tom Menas, and then whoever stepped in for him as he went to Massachusetts. And then Iowa Barnstormers, they named Andre Coles as their head coach. And I believe he was the OC for Tulsa and also the interim head coach for Frisco after Billy Back left. So, I mean, he has some good specs. He knows some players in the league. I think he can rebuild that roster. We'll see. They're pretty far down, though. All right. And then finally, CFL roster moves as we get ready for the weekend. They start games on Friday, so I'll talk about the betting guide for them tomorrow, along with the Elf. Montreal Alouettes, they moved to the practice roster American defensive back Bubba Bolden, who used to play for the Brahmas. And Miami Dolphins. Winnipeg Blue Bombers released American wide receiver Kyron Moore. And they moved to the seven-game injured list global linebacker Fabian Whites, who played at the Cologne Crocodiles in the GFL, German Football League. They signed national defensive lineman Colin Cornelson. They signed global linebacker Ayo Oyolo, and that's to replace Fabian Whites. And then they signed American defensive back Ridge Texada, which is an interesting name, Ridge Texada. So Winnipeg's filling the gaps. They play Saskatchewan again. I think it's a much closer game. It was 3 points last. So I think it's even closer than that this week, but I think Saskatchewan wins again. So that's just how it's going down. That's the football news for today, pro football news. Tomorrow we'll have some CFL predictions. Boop. We'll have some college football predictions. Boop, for Friday night. We'll have the Elf championship game predictions for this weekend. Boop. And then we'll watch the Dallas Cowboys game. Go Eagles. Boop. I very rarely say go Eagles, so I just hate to see Dallas succeed. It's just hard to watch. Okay. All right. So with that in mind, that is Football Scientific for tonight. We're gonna close this portal and move on to our night. Remember, last word on sports. Check out my articles, Buffalo Bills. We have a whole page of Buffalo Bills stuff. It's awesome. CFL News Hub. Check out my Hamilton Tiger Cats articles and the rest of the stuff in the CFL. You like the CFL? You should check out CFL News Hub. We got an app, y'all. We got an app. That's better than the CFL CA. Honestly, that's the official league website. We're better than that. Okay. And then if you like the video, like it, and you'll see more of our videos. I make videos all the time. Great content all the time. Great content. I don't edit because this is punk rock, man. This is punk rock. I'm just doing my thing, okay? So I'm not here to be fake. And then subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see something that I'm not showing right now, pop it out and let me know, and we'll see what happens, okay? It should be pretty cool. So we got done breaking it down, and that closes the Football Scientific portal for tonight. Bye, bye, bye.